How's it going, everybody? You're about to send off a few bug reports. Okay, there are a few known bugs that went in due to the optimizations. The two that I know for sure are like if you step on sunken skipping stones, they'll appear to flip over for a minute. Now, which is what I'm about to fix. We could save a level called fix. Um, and then the other one is sometimes things on lily pads don't visually rotate correctly now as the lily pads go around. Okay, so I'm going to put a little skipping stone here. And we're going to make it not work right. Maybe this will be fine. Maybe this will be fine. You are not here. So like if I do this, it like flips. And that's just fallout of the optimizations that we did recently. It's Mission Impossible fallout. Um so we'll fix that. Now, Priestess floating is visually busted. And a thing with having a clone carry you. Okay. Well, let's evaluate. Let's observe. So, well, let's do dragon. That's that's easier. All right. All right. Oh God. I agree that that is visually busted. Okay. However, let's fix that first because I know exactly what the problem is. Um, what do I want to do? This is a little bit annoying. You know what? It's fine. Um, Come on, game. Oh. We got to start on this level. All right. Hey, look, it's fixed. I'm amazingly skilled. Chasm 3. Oh, the clone thing. Yeah, okay. This is actually a known bug. Oh, wait. Right. I think that's a known bug. That's not due to the optimizations. It's just the clone code is not right. You know, like this should not. The correct gameplay result is that he should fall, right? Sort of. Because the other guy would be like halfway out. So it's just doing the wrong thing there. So, yeah. It's definitely confusing. Doesn't this level look nice, though? So this is wrong as well, by the way. Like, clones are just a little bit screwed. Like, in this case, it should be just like Bard Charm, where he walks off. It should work like Bard, yes. However, in this case, right, if the Bard tries to go, the crystal would go before her and, like, there would be a gap, right? So we just need the same thing to happen there. The problem is just, it's like hideously complicated right now. The Bard movement path is like its own set of code away from the normal player movement path because I didn't realize I would have to solve this at the same time, and like unifying all that seems like a bad idea. I don't know. I will try to do something. But it is messed up. Okay. Let's not do that one yet. Let's do the new bugs first. That's an old bug. Okay, we need to... I forget the name of that level. Okay, this is new bug. This is new bug. We'll do them in this order. Okay, so and then maybe Chasm 3 or maybe we'll design a level first. Too much bug fixing is depressing when like it's a good time in development of this game, but it's also like I have so much to do all the time. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Okay, so we have fixed Priestess. That's great. Skipping Stone Flip. Okay, the way that I was going to do this, the problem is people who saw this previous stream may have seen we have these procedural animations, and then we have nudges and stuff, which are other procedural animations, and they don't know about each other right now. And the problem is that the nudges basically, when I stand on the skipping stone, it does a nudge when it's sunken, and that nudge basically resets the output parameters. It used to just use, everything used to be chained, right, in terms of the output parameters. However, as you know, I just had an idea. Anyway, as you know, the problem is that we were setting those output parameters over and over for every entity in the overworld. That was bad. Every gameplay entity, that's still 9,000 entities. So, the idea that I just had was right now with the nudges, we reset the output parameters at the beginning, but we can do that in a separate pass. Like so right here, render outputs for anything in the nudge list. We'll do this, and then we can chain anything below this, right? This is fine. Doing 2 passes over the nudges is fine because there's only like 4 of them active at any one time, except, you know, in the levels with giant stacks. And this will allow us to be very versatile and we can also collect the entities that need this procedural animation stuff applied. And we can do that here. And then everything can go back to chaining. I like this solution. Okay. Okay. So apply nudges. We're not going to do that, but we're going to do this. Instead of anything, we should say everything. Everyone. I need to get that. You know how like professional streamers have little clips they can play? I need everyone as a clip. What do you mean everyone? Everyone. That would make me a pro streamer. All right. So for nudge manager nudges, okay. And then down here in apply nudges, we just get rid of this. And I believe that bug will be fixed. I never actually saw the movie, but yeah. Was the idea for Witness 2? No, it was this idea. It was how to handle this. I don't know if this made it into the Braid commentary, but I had an idea for Witness 2 while we were recording the Braid commentary, and then I forgot. And like literally in the couple of years since then, I've never remembered. Right. It's not anything. It's everyone. I'll announce it's called The Witness 2 at the last second before release. You know, that would be a marketing plan of some kind. Okay, we forgot to do this. Let's get this set up. By the way, I keep editing the overworld. I decided that my current design task is we're just going to get the ground floor polished so that the art team can do it. Everything. Everyone. This might take a second because we're in debug build. I actually want to see. It looked like when I updated, like maybe they added some art assets. Let's see. So we've got Promise 2. That was there yesterday. We've got Heroes. Oh, we've got Goblin Forest. Suspicious lack of circles in this grid game. That is a good point. However, there are circles. So for example, see that? See that? That would be so illegal in the witness, it's not even funny. See that? See that? See that? See that? Look at all the circles, actually. There's a lot of... Look at that. Look at that. Look at all the circles. Okay. Yeah, so it looks like we got Goblin Forest. This stuff was already there. Looks like colors have been tweaked here as per my request. That's great. Mr. Streamer, why is your frame rate so low? You must be really bad at programming, unlike me, Mr. Python Vibe Coder. Okay, yeah, at this point, we've done a finalization pass on certainly more than half, maybe 2/3 of the screens here. So that's great. That's great. Were there any braid references in Witness? I almost put one. And then I decided against it. There was a lot of other stuff to do, and it seemed like it was trying a little bit hard, so I didn't put it in. But I'm sure people have found things they think are braid references in the Witness. You know what I mean? Am I right? Am I right? Thought the Sandcastle was a braid reference. Sandcastle. Oh, you're right. Okay, I forgot about that completely. Okay, so there is a braid reference in the Witness. Shows you what I know. I forgot we put that in. There's a specific thing that I was going to put in that I'm thinking of that did not make it in. Okay. All right, that's all I wanted to do was just check that real fast, I guess. You know, this... I kind of want to fill that out, but we have this 3x3 pattern. I don't know. I don't know. I don't always know. Maybe the trick is just to always make this diagonal when we do that, right? Right, that looks better. Okay. Now let us go back to this. So, skipped. Ta-da! It is fixed. I mean, if it's doing a nudge, though, it's very subtle. It is, okay. I do... Oh, it's not that subtle. Okay. All right, fixed. Priestess is still fixed. Okay, let us... Slow moving cloud. It's not that slow of a moving cloud. It's not nearly slow enough. Having another wait an hour puzzle. Okay, there was... Let me see if it's in here. Just so you know. Okay. I did have a level in here called The Cloud from Braid, but it's not actually in the game. So... hide it somewhere. I have not successfully designed the level yet. Okay. Okay, so we have to change these. Okay. Okay. So every gem animations happen because they all work by chaining their results onto output star. Okay. Great. Gem. All gems have procedural animations. Okay, skipping stones. Dude, my typing. Okay, for skipping stones. Do we ever early out? No. All right. Let's make sure that works. If it does, we will take the W. Look, the procedural animations work. Same for the gem. There we go. They're composing correctly as I push it and all that. Okay, great. That could have been ugly, but we found a very good solution. All right. Awesome. Boom. Okay. Let's take the W and then we'll work on this Lily thing. So this is great because we can ship these fixes to the testers tonight. And yeah. And then they will have their saved 0.4 milliseconds plus actual correct visuals, except for other bugs that we haven't discovered yet. I should put these all in one place. Make sure they compile. Make sure they compile. Okay, fix some bugs relating to nudges, etc. Overworld tweak. Let's just say procedural animations and the recent optimizations. Recent optimization. Did I ever download the updated colors for the Zachtronics art? Of course. We play with only the latest colors in this house. Okay. Now, why did I bring up Twitch chat? I have it on my other monitor. Lily not visibly rotating. All right. This one was weird because it was visibly rotating for part of the loop and not visibly rotating for another part. We'll see if we can repro it. Hold on. Got to answer a text. Is today Wednesday? Is today Wednesday? It is. If I stopped programming and only game directed, could Tekla complete the game? At this point, yes. From the beginning, I would say maybe not. I mean, if I wasn't programming on the compiler either, then yeah, the game probably would never happen, right? But we have really good programmers now. So now things are in good shape. But yeah, dude, like just don't underestimate how much work there is to do in a video game. Like if you've never made a game, you simply just don't understand. That's just all there is to it. It's just so much work. Okay. What were we going to work on? Oh yeah, the Lily. So I gotta Like, I've got overlapping things here for some reason. Let's get rid of that. All right. So this was really weird. So we had, for example, a lily pad with a character on it. This might only apply to characters for all I know. Not sure. So the lily pad turns and the character turns. So here the character should be facing the middle the whole time, right? Whoops. And she's not rotating at all now. Okay, so that's interesting. Oh, now she rotated. Now she's rotating. See what I mean? It's very weird, although maybe it's not that surprising that it's inconsistent, because we had this weird inconsistency with monsters the other day. Is there anything weird about theta current 90? Wait, we're setting theta current, but not... Or we're setting theta target, but not theta current. This is weird. We might have to do some diffing. I know where to look about this. And then now it's all fixed. What is that animation she's doing? Whoops. Wrong level. Okay, so we got to figure out what's happening here. It might have to do... Let's see. So she's in state active right now. And she's rotating. Now she's fidgeting and she's rotating. Active. Fidget. Okay. But you'll notice she's also not in that weird state. Oh, wait. Now she's not rotating. And now she is. Yeah, this is very strange, right? Okay, here's an experiment that I want to do. If we have two characters, do they both have the problem? And do they have the problem in sync with each other, right? This is kind of cute. We should do this in a level sometime. Maybe if there's two characters, it never... Oh! So it's not synced at all. It just happens or doesn't happen. Does it ever happen to Warrior? I haven't seen it happen to Warrior at all. It's only Queen. Although, Queen is not doing it very much now that there's two characters. It's a very strange bug, isn't it? Seems random, but it's not, though. Because it is only Warrior. Or it's only Queen, I mean. Okay, if I put another Queen, does it happen to both at different times? It's the same thing is happening to both of them. Even though they're at different rotations and stuff. But it's not happening to Warrior. And they're even playing different animations. Does it have to do with which player is active? Probably not. Let's try. Now nobody's doing it. But they were doing it in sync. You saw the evidence. Now it's just not happening. Maybe it only happens if it's the initial idle. I don't know. Let's hard reset the level. There, it just happened immediately upon reset. Let's do that again. Okay. That's useful. It's doing the same thing every time. Except, well, okay, it's starting out messed up every time, but then it fixes itself at different times. Oh, Warrior did it, finally. Okay. No, he's doing it at the beginning too. Okay. Well, I feel like we're going to do some log style debugging. So let's cut back to this. We'll run. Does she do this? Yes. Okay. So you see this very obvious drift, and then sometimes it snaps at the bottom, and sometimes it goes all the way around. Why? That time it didn't even fix at the bottom. What? Okay. So let's see. In the support code, okay. Let's comment this code out because that could be a confounding factor. Okay, it is not the cause. That's fine. We will leave it commented out to simplify the situation. I'm going to delete these objects. Just make sure everything's good still. Okay. Okay. Wait. I commented out one of these, but not the other one. Okay, hold on. Why do we have two of those? That's weird. Okay. Oh, that time it reset though, fast. Okay. So it is probably not those things. Interesting. Okay. I forget DT this frame. How did I get in the wrong file? What is it called? Delta. What is it called? Did this tick? Okay. Theta current delta this tick. All right. So wait, why? The normal support loop. Okay, so that's for charmed stuff. This is for normal stuff. So we want to look at theta current delta this tick. Okay. So this is the thing that supposedly rotates us. All right. So we're going to go. Okay, so we're just going to do that. Okay. So d theta is 0 for a while. And then it looks like it's going up correctly. Okay, we actually want to, okay. Let's set this up a little bit better. We want their angles to match so that we can print them out and make sure they match, right? So we're going to go facing down, all right? Now, does that change anything in terms of what happens? No. Okay. So how many characters is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I should have just counted this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So those in principle should match. So here's where we reset. Minus 90, that's fine. And then we're rotating really quickly. These, oh, you know, I didn't line these up anyway. Duh. Because I didn't count from the right place. They look the same and okay. You know what? Active theta current entities. This is a thing that I added. So there's, in addition to these output properties that we're talking about, there's a thing where we convert our 2D angle to a quaternion. We also took that out for everybody. And this is what causes that to happen, right? I bet this fixes it. Hey, look. That's 3 bugs we fixed, 4 bugs, something like that. It's almost like we're vibe coding. Except the difference between this and vibe coding is here the bug count is going the other direction of how it goes with vibe coding. You didn't understand what was the fix. Okay, so here's the thing. I was fixated on the wrong problem, the wrong potential problem, which is why it took me so long to figure this out. Okay. In the entity, I will show you the data structures. So early on, because this is a 2D game, or it's a 3D game, but it's a game where you walk around and we want to know which way things are facing and where beams are shooting and stuff, right? And so we have these. There's a theta current and a theta target. So when you turn, it sets your theta target, and then we interpolate theta current toward that over time, right? That's very typical, okay? However, because we're studs, and these characters that walk around on a plane are also in this land that has meshes at arbitrary 3D orientations, we have a quaternion that has your rotation, right? Before the optimizations we did over the last couple days, we would go through every entity and convert its theta current to the quaternion. Now, we don't always do that. We only do it when the theta current is dirty, right? If it's interpolating toward theta target, then we update this every frame. Otherwise, we don't. And this is a case where we neglected to tell the system that we were doing that. Now, there aren't very many things that assign theta current, so I did not. In fact, there might not be any, right? It was all set theta. I made like a set theta target, I think, right? But oh, we have a set theta current and target. Okay, that's what I'm supposed to do. So we're supposed to do this: set theta current and target, new theta current, e dot theta target. And this is redundant, but like whatever, it's fine, right? Okay, so then we don't have to do that manually. And what I could do is in my code check, I could check for assigns to theta current, just like we did for visual position. But yeah. Hey, look, it works. And so the reason it actually fixed itself is like something else happened that put it in that table. And that thing probably had to do with animation state transitions in some way. All right. Boom. So do we have other no check-ins? Yes. Oh, we got to turn those back on. Whoops. Okay. Fix supported entities not visually rotating. Don't you wish most game companies fixed bugs this fast? I'm just being honest here. That's not a brag. It's just like, don't you wish they would prioritize these problems and fix them? It's a matter of will. Like, dude, I'm president of the company. I do not have to be doing this, yet I am, okay? Why did it affect all the guys? It's because sometimes they would be in the table for other reasons. All right, I'm gonna grab a snack. Um, while I'm doing that, are there any other questions? And if not, we could move on to like content. We could make content. B-A-N-A-N-A-N-A. B-A-N-A-N-A-N-A. Publishers don't want to push out patches unless they do a full QA pass. I agree that that's true, but like, here's the thing: if stuff isn't exploding all over the place all the time, you probably have more confidence in your QA pass and could do it more quickly, right? Do I feel a bug like the theta target versus theta current would benefit from a test to check for it? Well, that's what I'm saying is we could automatically detect that in the code. It's just I don't really feel like it. If that kind of bug comes up again, I'll start to feel like it, right? How about an educational stream to correct Dawkins' claim about bottom-up design? Who is Dawkins? Is that like Professor Falcon? Greetings, Professor Falcon. Oh, you mean Richard Dawkins. You punctuated incorrectly. Um, Why would I do that? Like, that kind of argumentation is basically fruitless. I don't I don't see a point. Also, though, I'm not sure that I completely disagree with him anyway. So, but I mean, I haven't watched the video, right? So I don't know. I have an idea what he said because I've read his other stuff, right? Okay. I mean, Richard Dawkins is pretty smart in many dimensions, but you know, you know, you know what I'm saying? All right. Um, so which level was it was in the Bard stacks that Matthew was playing in the last video that I watched. Let's make a release build. So that we have all our changes in a nice fast build. Dawkins is a much better writer. Yeah, he's a really good writer. He is extremely good at explaining things in a way that's both understandable but also thorough and comes at it from multiple angles, right? Like way back when I was in college, I read like, Selfish Gene and like that other book, whatever that was. And they were really good books. And I don't really disagree with him about evolution or anything like that, right? So like some people, so I definitely am not an atheist, but here's the thing. Um Situations can be extremely nuanced in a way that you don't picture if you think that there's this like very black and white situation about like there's either Christian God with a gray beard or there's only Tinker Toy atoms, right? So, my stance is not really either of those. So, um, can there be a creator and also evolution? Obviously, we make computer systems that do evolution and then we poke at them, right? Like we do that. We're not even God. All right. Like it's just not very, and that's where I'm disappointed because the failure of imagination is huge to say like, oh, look, all this obviously happened due to evolution. We think, and so therefore blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you can't even imagine for a second a counterfactual to that, even though we do it. Okay. Anyway, I'm sure we're compiled already, but I want to take a short break. So we're going to play cards anyway, even though we're compiled. So we could put 9, 10 Jack in here, 6 on the 5 Queen, king, jack, that's all great, but blue 10 has to go somewhere. That's kind of a problem. King can get off with the king, queen, jack, but red 3 and green, queen are in the way, and those aren't going anywhere. So, like, we can do all this stuff, but it eats a slot. And that. Okay, here's the thing. Sometimes I play this game and I win like 20 games in a row because I'm like on it. Lately, when I play this game, I've been kind of skimping on the effort and I've been losing a lot. All right. Especially off stream. I'll like fire up a game and I'll just like lose. So we got to get out of the rut. So we have 1, 2, 0, 1, 2 here. But 17, okay, well, okay, we have 10, 9, 8 red, 2 pops, 17 on 16. We can just do that regardless of anything else. So I claim that this is the right move. It does force us to go 10, 9, 8 on top of the 12. But jack is not that deeply buried, maybe. I mean, blue, we've spoken of blue 10 already. Compete on time / moves. I don't necessarily want to compete, but I mean, maybe sometimes in like a Zachtronics kind of way. But I would like to play seeds again. Like if I lose, I would like to add that to a list that I could play again later. And if I win and I thought it was especially fun, I would like to add that to a list, right? I just played one within the past couple days where I was like, "Oh wow, that was super cool what I did." And like I'll never know which setup it was. Um okay, so what do we do now? We get green 4, 5, 6, king, queen, jack, and 10, 9, 8. Do we see anything else to even do here though? Like everything else is just totally disconnected. I'm going to do it. Ready? Boom. I did it. But I can still take it back. So I'm going to do this. No take backs. All right. So I think we put 5 on the 4, right? And then we can go either way with 4, 5, 6. We probably want to put the 6 over here because green 10 doesn't do much for us. I'm just going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and do that. All right. Now, so 5, 6, 7 could go either way. 4, 5, 6, 7 could go either way. If we put 7 up here, the 19 is a 1-bagger, and that's very good. And we're probably not going to put this, I don't even see, oh, green 3 is there. That's not that deep, given how poppable this is. Okay, anyway, we get red 3 or gold 4. Gold 4 will pop, actually, and 2 will pop. I did not foresee this in Prophecy. And then we could trade green 9 for blue 10, which is interesting. Right? Or we get red 3, which, if we wanted to lift the 12, put the 2 on there. and then put 14 somewhere, but we're not going to be able to put 14. 15 is way down here. 13 is there. Yeah, it's not going to happen. You could get the 16, 17, 18, 19. I could. Well, if we get the 4, we can get 5. That's an interesting point. And then 18. So let's get the 4. It has been foretold in prophecy. So we could trade the 9 for the 10. That seems, in general, that seems like a good move. Because what else are we going to trade the 10 for? The Jack, which isn't going to happen anytime soon, probably. So let's do that. Now, where can green 9 go? Oh, here. Oh, okay. Well, this is a moral dilemma from BioShock, all right? If we put the 7 here, then we get 19 and 18 as well. Oh, and then we get our slot back. So that's not a moral dilemma. But if we threw it the other way, we would get the slot back with 9. So we get a slot back either way. I don't know which one to do. But our YOLO, we survived our YOLO. All right. That's great. Yeah, dude, if you work with anyone and they used AI and they can't tell you what it did, they're just fired. Like I don't even know why anyone thinks that that's even a discussion. I kind of want to do a YOLO here. We could trade this. Yeah, let's do this. Okay, do we want 9, 10 on this and get queen, or do we want... Oh, we want 7. That's easy. And then I guess we'll just take this and we'll just pop it all off anyway. Right? We'll take this. We won, guys. Unless I throw really hard, which to be fair, I have done in the past. I have thrown so hard in the past. If the past can be said to exist. Okay, we got to get rid of the devil before something bad happens. All right. Ta-da! Success. All right, let's start a new one and then we'll go back to the game. Look at this. 21, 20, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. What? Okay, we almost have to play this, don't we? Don't we? So we do 21, 20. We go 9, 8, 7 on the 6. And then we just gotta see, this isn't that easy right here. Okay, we gotta play this. Is it really a success if you don't end on the tower? That's why their vibe coding is going so terribly, guys. It's the tower. Why didn't they think of that? Do they not know their tarot cards? I'm guessing the answer is no. Okay, now we've got a moral dilemma like Bioshock. We could go 8-7-6 green, but we actually, oh, we can go on to the 4. I didn't even see that. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Actually, if we go 6, 7, 8, we get 2, 3, and then 4, 5 is like right there. See, this is so tempting. All of this. I'm just going to do these. And then we're very close to popping all this. Now, it's not necessarily to get good to get greedy about popping this, because this really only counts as one card at this point, sort of. Sort of. It's a heavy card that you can't put up. So like popping it is not that good. It's not as good as you think. But I want to get rid of all the cards. Do you know what I'm saying? All right, I think I kind of threw. I kind of threw. Ambition that is constructed on faulty premises. Yeah. Yeah. I could throw the 8 in the middle and YOLO swag. That's the only idea I have right now. And then we could put 7, 6 on it. Queen up, 13 on the 14. And then our one bagger is the queen. Then we have 8, 7, 6. And then I don't know, we might lose at that point for all I know. Yeah, I should have gone this way because the thing is, we need the 5 to connect our 9, 8, 7, 6, right? That's really the issue. I didn't think that out. We could have, at the cost of a slot, we could have probably drilled through here and gotten up through gold 5, which would have been great. Well, I didn't do that, guys. We could do the YOLO. All right, let's do this no matter what. Like, we should just do that, right? It does not make sense not to do that. Now we could do 13, 14, Jack on the 10, 10 up, and then like 13, 14 on the 12. And then we could get ready to flip that on the 11 eventually. But that green 10 is a bummer. It's a bummer holio. Yeah, I should have gone for the 5. I still could. I said at the cost of a slot, I could go for the 5, and we have a slot. So like, what's my problem? My problem is now we don't have the right orientation, right? Because 7 is nowhere to go. So that would have to go up. And then the 5 is on the bottom of both of these. So that's what screws us. If I do this though, 8, 7, 6 in the hole, 2 pops, 3 pops, gold queen, okay, uh, goes up, I guess. And now we could put the 10 on the 9. And then red queen. So instead of red queen up, we could have gold queen up. And we're getting closer to the 19 to put this 18 on, but it's just not really happening. Although this 7 would be exposed and the 6 could go on the 7. And that would give us blue 7. We can't do anything with blue 7. I told you I've been losing a lot lately. And that's not spelled Loose like all the illiterate people on the internet think it is. Okay, between this burning the 0 through 4 and this one, I feel like the 2-3 gold is the better play, but I'm not sure how to articulate why. And maybe it's not the better play. It's just we won't be able to put this green 2 anywhere. But maybe I just want to burn 5 cards. Oh, if I do this, then the 5 will pop. I'm just going to do this. Let's do this. Now we are in dire straits. This is probably lose condition here. Is that song just like permanently censored now? Like permanently? Like nobody shall ever know the lyrics of that song originally, even though it played on MTV 100 times a day? Okay. Um, I think I lost. But you never know. There could be a way out of this. Okay. Let's do the game and we'll come back and try to save the situation. Sometimes you look again and you see something that you didn't see. Okay. Going to the overworld. Um I am looking for, what am I looking for? Bard stacks. Not not that one. Not that one. Was it? No, it was 3D. Which level was it? This one. Okay, so we're gonna. I should fix this the right way, but I don't want to. There we go. Ta-da! Oh, guys, the Bard particles are snapping now. Let's fix that. That's not good. Bard particles. Set position radial emitter. That's gem beam. Update Bard emitting particles. This is visual position right here. Oops. All right. The other one looks right. So I was thinking today, all the cafes here in Boulder play 80s music, which I like because I like 80s music. But like objectively speaking, the best decade for popular music in history was either the 60s or the 70s. I could see you making a case for either of those. But like it's very weird to me that like 80s is way more popular than 60s or 70s right now. Now after the 90s there's literally no pop music anymore. So there's that, but 90s grunge was the best. I mean, I get it if you like 90s grunge. That's fine. If you're a Nirvana fan, that's Foo Fighters. I don't know what the fuck. That's great. Objectively speaking, the 60s and the 70s like beat the crap out of it with a bloody baseball bat, dude. It's like not even it's like not even within a factor of 10 how good they were overall. Alice in Chains, Soundgarden, Pearl Jam, Stone Temple Pilots. Yeah, those are all the same band. Like the first time I heard Stone Temple Pilots, I thought they were Pearl Jam. Okay. What am I doing here? I came back to this level. Why did I? Oh, because the particles were not smooth. Now they are smooth. Look at all the bugs we fixed today, guys. It's insane. All right, let's take the W on whatever we did. Fixes. All right, so now maybe I want to design a new level because I was redesigning an overworld screen to be better, and we realized that pacing of the levels that were on that screen was backwards and anticlimactic. And so I want a simple skipping stone and purple beam level that is introductory and also not redundant with what we have. I feel like I'm just thinking about like, what if you block a beam different ways by pushing a stone around, etc. Like I want a level where there's just a beam fixed in place and you block it with a skipping stone for in an interesting way. The average musicianship of popular acts declined a lot relative to the 60s and 70s. Yeah, that's true. Like, I was just, the YouTube algorithm recommended some stuff to me yesterday, and there were people doing all their like React content to things where they don't have to put any effort in except, oh, that's interesting. And one of them was a guy listening to the eponymous album Boston. And it's like, it's insane. Like, that's just one of many. Like, Boston is insanely good. And it's also, they're like number 53 of the 100 best bands of the 70s. You know what I mean? It's just crazy. Guns N' Roses or AC/DC? Okay, that is a good question. If I answer to you honestly and truthfully, I will say I don't know. Back when I was in high school, the answer was for sure Guns N' Roses. But I mean, they do kind of Guns N' Roses is kind of stupid. All right, in that way where like it's like the same way I can't listen to the Nine Inch Nails albums that have lyrics anymore either. You know, whereas AC/DC, they're like not that serious and they're having fun with it. And AC/DC has a street named after them, and there probably is no street named after Guns N' Roses. So I might have to give it to AC/DC, actually. Completely agree about Nine Inch Nails with lyrics. Yeah. I used to really like Nine Inch Nails. Like especially like Downward Spiral. I listened to that album so much because it's got a huge degree of subtlety in it. I mean, it's all electronic, right? But it's like he sat there in, whatever the audio editing tool was of that time and just like tweaked every waveform like really close. It's like really a well done album that way. But I just can't do the lyrics now anymore, man. They're like just so foolish and goofy. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Axl Rose, one of the greatest vocalists in his prime. I don't know about that. Okay, here's the thing. Axl Rose had a bunch of like auto tune and like um whatever like fake harmonization pumped in to create that signature Axl Rose sound, right? One time there was an MTV show where he was like singing live somewhere and he sounded terrible. He sounded terrible because they probably couldn't do that stuff live back then. They can now, right? But like back then, it all had to be super tweaked in the studio. Maybe he was just having a bad day that one time. I don't know. But he sounded terrible. You were lucky enough to see ELO and Queen live. Wow, I did not see either ELO or Queen live. Lucky you. Dude, there's so many good bands in the 70s. It's literally unbelievable. But part of that too was just music was a much bigger part of life back then because we didn't have all these other kinds of entertainment, right? Or time wasting or whatever you want to call it. Okay. So, did we know? Oh, yeah, we were going to design this level. That was what was next. Nine Inch Nails with teeth, which I feel like I remember radio guys saying Nine Inch Nails with teeth all the time. But I also feel like that's one of the later albums, right? Like, is that the one that has Perfect Drug on it? That's the worst song, dude. Perfect Drug was a huge radio hit, and it's the worst, most mind numbing song. I don't understand why it was a big hit, except that people are zombies. You can't believe prog rock was mainstream at some point. Dude, I had friends in college who were super into King Crimson. I just never I never could do King Crimson. I just didn't care enough. I bought their albums just to listen to them, but and so I would be educated, but like I couldn't do it, dude. With teeth has bite the hand that feeds. Okay, let's educate ourselves NIN discography. On Wikipedia, of course. Okay, Pretty Hate Machine, Downward Spiral, The Fragile. That's probably where Perfect Drug was, right? And then I didn't really listen to any of these because I thought they all were not that good. Ghosts is actually pretty good. Um, it's just it's not as high effort as the other albums because it's just like, oh, we put out these tracks and isn't that fun? But like I think Ghosts is actually kind of okay. And then like, oh, I didn't know, I forgot about this. I haven't really listened. I think I listened to a little bit of this because I saw it pop up and I was like, oh, but like, dude, I don't know what's on any of these. I have literally no idea. All right. Downward Spiral is still the best Nine Inch Nails album, even though I haven't heard half of these. All right. Yeah. Johnny Cash cover was so popular, people thought Nine Inch Nails did the cover. Well, there you go. There you go. Okay. We're gonna save this as Purple Beam uh intro. I don't know, dude. I don't know what it's called. I'm just a game designer. I'm just a game designer. Okay. What is even happening? Well, we're going to have a purple beam. All right. That goes without saying. Maybe since we're going to block it, it should be left to right. In my mind, when I was visualizing the level, it was south north, but sometimes that is just the wrong decision. Okay, purple beam. Okay. Purple beam goes somewhere. For now, we're going to do this. We're just going to do that. It's fixed. It is fixed in place. We'll have Skipping Stone Sally here. Actually, it could be Skipping Stone's Elfrida. Okay, and she's gonna, you know, she's gonna do stuff. It's gonna be really cool. She needs a skipping stone. Of course, we'll put a big THICC one. Okay. So, probably let's have her start over here and use the beam as intended. Like she goes, she puts the lotion in the basket. Okay. She uses the beam. Boom. And she gets over to where the beam is. Okay. Now the problem is, like, already given these parameters, I'm thinking of fun things to do, but then I'm like, we probably already do that on a level, you know? But I want this to be about blocking the beam. So, like, if you imagine there was a thing in the middle here that has the exit, right? She can't go to that exit unless she blocks the beam. Then she can go to that exit. Now, it could be funny. It could be funny that she has to push the gem into place. We're just so riffing on ideas here. Like she has to push the gem into place to get out. And then like, I don't know, like there's a wall, right? Like that. And then haha, you thought you could walk to the level, but you cannot walk to the level unless you block the beam. Now we want it to be a static blockage. We don't want it to be like the thing is moving and you do some crazy dynamic block. So how do we make that work? I mean, obviously we could do this, right? Haha. You cannot get there. La 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 lol. Um so but then how do you get there? Obviously you could block it before the beam. You could put it right after, but I think it would be nice instead of trying to do something like this. I think a two-stage thing would be nice. You skip the stone somewhere, okay? And that gives you a static landing. And then you skip the stone again to block the beam. Right? So first you get to the static landing. Because if it's just one, like levels kind of feel like a nothing burger if they're just set up and you do the thing, right? So we could do this. I'm just not sure. So if we do this, there's only two level ideas that I see here. One is you come over here, and then you can just, unless there's like multiple skipping stones and we do off topic complication, you walk over here, you skip this in front, and then you can walk to the exit, which I do want. I do want that to be part of the level. I mean, maybe you skip it, preferably you skip it from over here or something, right? But the problem with this is once you block the beam, you can't get back on the beam, right? Before, because you'd have to be racing the skipping stone, and generally it's faster unless we have really weird settings. There could be two characters. I don't want to have two characters, but maybe we do that. Let's just try to do it with one character. So we're trying to do this idea, block the beam to get to the exit. But okay, maybe it's even, you know, this is a little compacted, but it could be like that, where it's like you can get here off the line, so you can walk there, and then you walk there, right? So, uh, yeah. So it could be that. But we don't want that to be the whole level. Like go there, do the thing, right? I mean, maybe you start with the skipping stone on this side. That's a little better. But it still feels like the level would be better if you do a sequence of two things. This wouldn't even work. Uh, well, actually it would because you could skip it to there. So this is solvable. Right here, just like this. And it's okay. That's not too bad. You like the idea of skipping the stone to the right side of the exit and you have to push it past the exit. I see. So you're saying like, I mean, we're going to trim back a little bit here. Like there's no there's no way to skip it until like there or something. I mean, we can make this more interesting with different geometry. Like I wouldn't put the exit this far out if we did this, right? But so here, the only way to block the beam. But see here again, the problem is to do this, I end up on the left side, unless it's trivial. If this went out here and I could just push it, right? If only you could just draw the level. Well, no, just go ahead and tell me what do I need to do? It's hard to work out all the kinks in your head. I see. Yeah, that is often the problem. Here's what I'm imagining now. Here is what I'm imagining now. This is all connected. Everything is connected, man. But you can't just skip to block the thing because so the movie could happen, right? We're actually gonna have this be well, it doesn't need to go out that far. Um, okay, what am I thinking of here? I want a big ass situation. I want to have this, and you need to skip the stone in front of it so you can get to the exit, right? To here. I mean, or honestly to here, but we're not going to let you skip it to there, right? Okay. Um, now there's a fantasy island between you and there anyway, right? So if you wanted to skip south from somewhere, there is this this land. Remember when they sang that in school, and by they I mean we, the song all about how we stole America from the Native Americans? That was pretty based. Okay. So the thing is, this will go in front, right? And so one must, in order to succeed, skip the stone into here. Wait, into. We need to skip the stone into here. Teleport over there. And then get around it. Like, okay, this is hard to design. But the point is, you skip the stone in there. It's blocking. Oh, well, it's just blocking the beam at that point. We don't want that. We want you to skip it onto the island. Okay, I was making it too hard for myself. You skip it onto the island. Okay. Oh no, yeah, because it has to be in line with the beam. So I'm trying to do something logically impossible, actually, because I was like, oh, you use it to go to the island and then move it where you need it. But if the island goes left like this and you get it in line with the beam, then you can just exit, right? So it would have to be to the right. It would have to be to the right. So, and then if it's to the right, why can't you just skip it? All right. So let's try this. Let's try it to the right. We've got this. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. We just, okay. So you skip the stone onto there. It is blocking the beam. Okay. But after this, so you still can't get here, but you can walk over here and go to the island. Okay. And then you push the stone around to here, and then you block the beam. The problem is you can't get out. You can't get off the island unless there's a way to walk off. I guess we just make a way to walk off, right? I don't know. Like it's connected. I like it better if you have to use the beam. So like maybe the way that you get on doesn't work. Like maybe if you walk onto the island, you push the stone into oblivion somehow. I don't know if we have enough dimensions to do that. Because it would have to be orthogonal to the beam, and you would have to have water, right? But then you need to be able to skip in from this side, and you need to be able to push it off. So like this is not possible. Well, no, unless the direction you skip it in is the same as you skip it out. So yeah, okay, actually maybe this works, right? So what if it's like that? I mean, this has to be a lot more contrived, right? So what if, because you need to be able to push it. See, this doesn't, you need to be able to do something useful with it, but it also, oh, right. No, but the useful thing, okay. I keep forgetting. So let's visualize. Visualize, people. So the stone is here. Okay. If I teleport in from the beam, I can go around, push, push. Okay, my problem right now is you kind of can't do this. We need more push, right? So I mean, this seems like an unwinnable battle here, but you go in, you push, you come to the side, you push, push, push. The problem is I can't add a little outcropping here because that blocked my lane, right? And then the creeps will get to my tower. So we need to lane better here. So like, what if I just, does that make any sense? Yeah. So you push it here, you come, you get around, you go push, 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 push. Okay, why couldn't I don't know. You go push, 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 and then you can skip it down here. Um, actually, we don't need any of that. Like that's fine. Okay. Now, for this to work, this has to be that you screw things up if you try to walk on in this way, and it doesn't seem possible. So if this is our configuration, it would be enough to say you kick it this way, right? So doing that, but if I do that, you can't get around the stone in the first place, right? We could add another object. We could add rocks. Like there are rocks in Promised. It's just I want to keep it simple. But you could add a rock such that you have to push it out of the way to, or you have to push it to make the connection, right? Like, like we do in the overworld all the time. You could have this. I don't love it. Okay, also this is in the wrong place because on this geometry, you would have had to skip this into here. Um, yeah, but like the obvious exploit is to walk to the exit and not turn on the beam. I mean, we'll take care of that. Our original thesis was that this was disconnected, so you had to use the beam. And we could probably still do that, right? So it's just I was connecting it up to make things work better. I mean, this wouldn't be connected back here anyway at this point. Like this would be like this. You get in the beam. You know, the skipping stone would be like over here or something, right? You still can't really get it. Or actually, yeah, maybe it's just over here. Okay. So, I don't love this, but I don't see a better solution. But, and it's a big but, um, you need to go from right to left anyway here, which just means this would be like that or pushable to that location, right? Once you're on Fantasy Island. Maybe that's enough. So you skip it there, you push, you push, you push, you push, you push, you push, and then you bridge the gap. I mean, that certainly is a level. It doesn't have to be the greatest level ever made. It is not the greatest level ever made, so that's good. You can just skip the stone across and zip and skip the stone down again. Here you can, right? Because this is, but that's only because this is the point, right? If we even do that, in fact, this is kind of funny, right? So this is still unsolvable here, but now it is solvable. So like, here's how it would go. I'm here. If I do this, that's wrong, right? Oh, this is such a slow. Let's speed it back up. Settings, timings, time per skip 20 is good. Okay. So we go here, we go there, we go here. I mean, we don't need this wall anymore because you literally can't do anything without coming off that island now. That's one thing about level design is you have to notice when you don't need particular ideas anymore, right? Okay, so now I can go back and forth at will. It would be interesting if I had to skip the stone back over there for some reason, but I do not. I just bring it over here. I bring it over there. I mean, this is pretty nice as an infra. I just don't like the confusion of having this rock. I really do not. I do not prefer it, but there we go. Not least of which because, I mean, I can kind of block the beam with the rock. So if I leave, well, I can't really leave the skipping stone there, but if I get rid of it, I can sort of do this, right? But I guess I'm just tempted to push it in the hole. Oh no, I can solve it just with the rock, guys. Oh, yeah, almost. Maybe that makes it really hard, like having red herrings like this. Your level design doodle didn't make any sense. Depends how involved the level needs to be. It doesn't need to be that involved. If you want to try dictating, we can just save this and try another one. Like, I don't mind using this as a placeholder, and because I just kind of want a level and we could upgrade it later as well. Oh, you've got a graphics. Let's see the graphics. Okay. Oh, you took a screenshot of this. So the red is the actual island shapes that you want. So you've got beam. I turn on the beam. I can skip the stone to the disconnected island. But, and then do I push it? It looks like it only skips to the corner, so I can't push it to the front of the beam. How do I solve it? Oh, the rock starts on the bottom. I see. So if I skip it north, I go back and retrieve. I assume it comes in one square from the edge. So I go back to the north. I retrieve it. Oh, and then I push it and it, yeah, this is probably better. This is probably better for two reasons. One is because it really doubles down on this. You wish you could walk there, but you can't. And that's important because the screen that we're going to use this on uh, does that, right? And then the blocking the beam as well. And this can actually be a relatively small footprint. Um, let's try it. Let's try it. Do you lowercase? No. How do you do your name? Okay. There's no, that's not okay. Oh, but there's no space. Okay. What people just have all kinds of names, don't they? All right. Do I have interest in collabing with the other streamers? You know, such a thing might happen sometime, it might not. We can't say. We can't say. All right. So we're going to start with a very similar to what we had here. In fact, we might even like I want the idea that you could walk pretty far to the left. So we might even put it a little further than it was. All right, let's get rid of the rock. I didn't like the rock. That was the one thing that I did not like about that plan. We could even do this. I don't know. All right. So you could sort of go left to some degree, but at some point you got to get on it. If we wanted to be funny, we could even put this off axis, right? And you have to walk on this to get to it. I don't know if that's worth it right now. We might prefer the symmetry, the fearful symmetry, right? So, okay. Then the theory was, let's make this more compact. I don't know, like that. We could probably go even smaller, right? Let's do this. Okay, and then we go here of some kind. All right, and then I'm just doing this to get it continuity. Here of some kind, like that. This is a little bigger than we need, right? Okay, so and then Olive Garden. Right? So I mean, if you want to make it hard, it could just be somewhere random, right? Like the rock could be like here. And you could try to push it to the right. I guess there's not that much to land on that way, right? I mean, this looks pretty good. Okay. La la la. La 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 la. This is cute because, you know, it goes right in front of the beam for a second. But there would be no, I mean, there's no way to erase that. I'm pretty sure there's no. No, not going to make it. Okay, so we go there. We go there. There's exactly one square. Well, no, there's two squares to push it onto. I don't know. That's fine. Do that. I mean, okay, I like this because it is very topical in that it is gears you up for the overworld screen. This is a little too far out. Far out, man. That's pretty good, probably. I mean, we could let this go past here, right? Like if you wanted to futilely try to skip the stone that way. Just to make it not a totally self-solving level. Oh, this actually, this is not really good because you can skip it there and then up. Which is fine. I mean, it's another way of solving the level, but I feel like that dilutes it. What is the purpose of the gem? It's to be shiny and beautiful. Don't you think gems are shiny and beautiful? We could, like, just straight up do this if we wanted to. Oh, no, we can't. Never mind. Never mind. That was a false statement that I made. I mean, is this the level? It's the exit's a little bit off center, but we don't want it to block the lane. Can you play this game released? This game is not released. We would like for it to be released, believe me. We're getting closer every day to being released. There is a lot of water. We could zoom in a little bit more. The thing is, we want some framing on the top and bottom. And I kind of don't, like, I do want a margin of 2 here. Eh, eh. All right, this is good. This suits our purposes. Now, it's a little squishy that we could push the stone to here or here. But blocking that, like we could block that with like a square. I mean, it's ugly. You could literally do that. I don't love it. I think that's probably better, honestly. Just take the land out up top. No, if I do this, the level's unsolvable. If I do this, the level's unsolvable. You would have to have more meat back here, and then it would be pushable again. Yeah, solution either way is basically the same, so just leave a little freedom. Yes, however, there is something about levels feeling tighter and more intentional when there's one exact thing to do, right? Even though these are basically the same thing. You can narrow it one right of that and it's still solvable. Here. There. But then you put it directly. I like the idea of not putting it directly on the exit. I like the idea of having a neck. No, if I do this, guys, the level's unsolvable. Oh, no, it's not because you skip it to there. Oh, never mind. Maybe that's fine. Maybe you skip. Is that better, or is it better to let you push it? I feel like maybe it's better to let you push it to the right place. Because the problem with skip is it tells you the answer. There's exactly one thing. Like it gives you the answer because you can only ever do one thing. And here it's like, yes, it's trivial. It's obvious, but like at least you're making the choice, right? So I feel like even though it's slightly messy, we're gonna let you make the choice. Here we go. We're recording the test. Boom. Boom. This is, by the way, for all the people who ask how the tests work, this is how they work. Okay, so now I can play it back anytime I want. We can play it. I think original Benny test speed was around 50x or something. No, that's too fast. 10x. No, it was a little slower. 7x. Yeah. The original Benny test speed was like around there. We changed it a few times. Do you record inputs or actions? It's a little bit of a hybrid. It's actions though. Yeah, it's actions. So for example, when you walk in a direction, we don't record that you press the right arrow key. We record that you initiated a motion along the x-axis or whatever of world space. Why? Because it's frequent that we might, rotate the camera in the level or whatever, right? And we don't want the recording to break from simple things like that. Or like change, we have viewpoints where you can change to a side view and whatever. And if we edit one of those later, we don't want the recording to break and so forth. Put an island north and south of the exit. Yeah, I thought about that. I'm not sure that it's worth it, right? We can look at what that looks like. I mean, you don't need one there, but for symmetry, maybe you put one there, right? Like that looks cool, but like, is it really worth it? I don't think it is. I don't feel that it is. Okay. So that's going to go there. See where it says need a level here? We're going to have a level there. It's going to be called Purple Beam Intro V2. I'm hungry, dude. All right. Okay. So this will unlock that probably, right? Okay. Solved. All my levels are marked visited, which is annoying. Okay. So we go here. We can go down here and investigate. Oh, That's in the wrong place. No, oh, I moved it. Never mind. I moved it because we didn't have a level, so I wanted to let you proceed. But now that we have a level, I want to put a blocker right here so you could like go on this beam. So in addition to there, we'll put it there. All right. So come on down. We go here. Oh, it unlocked. All right, but I wouldn't be able to go. I go here. Now I go. I would drown otherwise. I do this thing. I block that beam. Let's do the. Yeah, well, we'll not spoiler. But we get here. Actually, before we do that, we can go down here, and yes, this is blocked on that. So we go there. We solve that. Okay, I am satisfied with this design. This works for me. I'm gonna put that in our puzzle spreadsheet that you can't see. What did we call it? Purple Beam Intro V2. Purple beam blocked by skipping stone stuff. Okay. Cool. Let's take the W on that. Is my remote thing running out of battery? What's going on? It made a bleep. How many puzzles are in there? 5. There are 5 puzzles in the game. Plus some extras. Yeah, 5 plus. All right, that was very good. What do? Do we... I don't want to do Chasm 3 clone fix. I don't want to do any of these. Maybe we try to save our bacon on cards. Oh man, this thing, it's going to beep. It's going to be like a smoke detector now. How do I even open this up? Ah, there we go. All right, we're going to yank the batteries. It has 2 AAA batteries. We're yanking them. Now it is no longer like a smoke detector, hopefully. Hopefully it doesn't have a giant ass capacitor that it'll keep bleeping at me like a smoke detector. Okay, did we lose? I mean, we just won at game design, but did we lose here is the question. Will I be buying a wood-burning pizza oven? Probably not. That is not high on my list of priorities. I must say. Okay, we can do king queen trade or king queen 10 trade. 10 wants to go on this 9, but there's too much stuff. I think we lost here. Okay. Maybe we're not going to play any more cards. I'm just sitting there looking at them and I'm like, my brain. I think we might be done for the night. We did 2.5 hours. We got good stuff done. We fixed a lot of bugs. I'm going to, right after the stream, I'm going to ship to the beta users. And in the meantime, you guys can go watch the tower. So have a good night. I'm sure they're very high energy over there at this point. And yeah, see you later.